Welcome to my page and my kitchen. I am Sarah, the recreational athlete dietitian, and today we are talking all things homegrown basil. So if you are a recreational gardener as well, you will not want to miss this. We're going to talk about pruning, harvesting, drying, and storing it after it's dry, and we are going to turn this into this. So let's get started with the harvesting and pruning. The first step to drying basil is to harvest it, and we're going to kind of harvest and prune this at the same time so you can get a nice big bush of basil here. I pruned this a lot over the summer, and so this is just one plant and it's gotten kind of large. I just harvested some a couple weeks ago and it's already gotten nice and big and bushy again. So I want to show you how to harvest it and prune it to get the most out of your basil plant. So we're going to zoom on in. I just have a bowl to put the basil I'm harvesting and some kitchen shears, some like proper trimmers, probably be better, but this is what I got, so this is what I'm using. Whenever you're harvesting and pruning basil, you want to go down kind of as far as you can so it'll grow up nice and tall. And you want to get right kind of like in an elbow here. See down here, I harvested some down here a while back and it grew off two little legs here, this one's short. But this one is nice and tall, so I'm actually going to harvest that one in hopes that this will grow taller next time. And especially for drying, I like to get nice long stems so you have something to hang it from. I'm going to go kind of outside in just to make it easier on myself. Pull off like the dead leaves and make sure that the bottom is cleaned up so there's not leaves touching the ground. And I saved this one for last so you can see really clearly how much I pruned down, and I'll show you where I'm going to cut this. So you can see the branches coming off here. I'm going to cut it right here so these branches and these branches can really grow to their full potential. I wanted to give you all a little update. It has been about 3 weeks since I filmed what you just watched, and this is what my basil plant looks like today. So you can see how tall it has gotten, and from look above, how wide as well. We need to make sure to wash our basil very well before we dry it. So I'm going to wash it in this bowl here and shake it out and pick off any bad leaves that looks like they have been eaten, or get rid of any bugs that I might find. I can organize it a little bit better and pick off any bad leaves that I find, and I'm going to get my hanging situation hung up in the meantime. I'm really fancy with how I dry my basil, so I'm using a wire hanger. I'm going to tie some twine to it and get it ready to go. Now it is time to hang these guys up. I'm going to divide them into about 4 bunches. You want them to be small enough so that you can get some airflow through them, but you know, make them however large as you need to. I'm going to tie them together and just tie the twine to a hanger, and that'll be it. to process the dried basil, which is the easiest part of all we have to do is take our leaves and put them into some jars. I have some salsa jars because I tend to hoard salsa jars, so I'm going to use them to keep the dried basil. When you're putting the leaves into the jars, you want to keep the leaves as whole as possible so they can keep their flavor and integrity, and whenever you're ready to use them, then you can crush them up and sprinkle them on. You can tell that the leaf does lose some color with time as you're air drying it, but that's okay. The flavor is still intact, and you can tell that it is ready to be stored whenever you can kind of take the leaf and it breaks easily. This is what we are left with, these two beautiful jars here. Left a bit of a mess, but it'll clean up easy. You could also save the stems. I'm gonna put some of these in my scrap bag in the freezer when I make stock or broth or something like that. And there you have it, my friends. 4 wonderful bunches of basil that you can hang up to dry, and in a few weeks, you'll get some of this that will last you all through the fall and winter seasons to make the most out of your basil harvest. A few things to mention about how I tied this up. Again, we want lots of airflow here, so I kind of alternated between low and high, and then I tried to tie them up so they have a little bit of a crisscross, kind of spread it out a little bit more. But hang them however you find easiest for you and your setup. These are still kind of wet from washing, so I'm gonna let them hang outside in the shade for a little bit before I take them to their new home inside of my home office. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did find value in it, please hit the like button to let me know, and hit subscribe so you can see my next video. I am Sarah, the recreational athlete dietitian, and I will see you next time.